Apparently Meghan was left absolutely, well, high and mightily stunned at this recent outburst. In fact, according to her and her team, but we're friends. Are they? Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for joining me in the beautiful, this is Hyde Park. Looks nice, doesn't it? Can you see that? Just right time of day, I think. Just getting a little bit chilly, let me tell you, chums. It's been a beautiful sort of spring day, but I think the thing is, I don't know if you find this, wherever you go, you suddenly think, oh, the sun's out, so suddenly you don't need to bring all the winter stuff. You do, because it's nice and sunny, but it's still cold, you know what I mean? Yes, I like to share these things with you, you know that. Of course you do, yes. Now let's get back to your royal story of the day. This is problematic if you are Meghan Markle, let's be brutally frank. Really, Meghan is a one-sided friend. We've seen that, Whether you are, of course, somebody like Jessica Mulrooney, Millie McIntosh, the list is endless, right? You're either in or you're out. And if you're out, then she's decided that's it, you're gone, and, for whatever reason. And I often think, this is part of the problem of why she's not successful. Because in the celebrity world, at least you have to align yourself and say, well, the reason why I removed myself from this person was this, but there's never any explanation. Now, according to a source, you see, Meghan herself really thought, and this was at the start of this year, that she had a lot of friends, particularly in the media. Now, I don't know why she thinks that, because every single interview that she's done, seemingly she's fallen out with everybody, whether it be CBS Sunday Morning, whether it be Ellen DeGeneres, whatever. She doesn't do that many interviews, but as I pointed out recently, the Drew Barrymore show ended up in something of a disaster because, the Diana picture, that wasn't necessarily agreed. And everything sort of, you can't surprise her because she doesn't like surprises. It has to be her way, right? But this particular adventure started when she was really starting out on a royal journey. The front cover of Vanity Fair and I'm Just Wild About Harry. And Graydon Carter, who was the executive editor of that esteemed magazine, has a book out. And as we all know, he famously said that she doesn't have a grip on reality. Right, yes, as if we needed telling that. But what's interesting is apparently Meghan felt, and she's very hurt by this, in fact, floods of tears, because she felt that they were chums and at some point they would have worked together. I mean, she cited the fact that she's still good friends with Edward Enninful. Well, and maybe she is, but Edward's now not the editor of Vogue, of course. He's somewhere, but, he's not the big cheese. They took him off that role when sales plummeted. Right, Edward? Now, where it gets really interesting is apparently she thought she may even write to Graydon to say what had she done to offend him or why they're not friends anymore. Meghan loves a letter, doesn't she? Have you noticed? And, he's selling a book and he knows exactly how to get the attention and, more importantly, the stories that the people want to know about. It's not just her, of course. He talks about many different people having been an executive editor on a time when people actually read Vanity Fair magazine. We all know why, of course, he said this, because she was problematic during that very early shoot, basically claiming that he should be talking more about her sort of charitable work and all that sort of stuff, and not really about the person she's going to marry. Of course, I've often said she knew exactly that was the story, but she's pretending that she's as excited without Harry or not. They were only interested in one thing, shifting magazine covers. They spent a fortune on hair, makeup and frocks to make her look good, and they were good pictures on that cover. And that was the deal. They put their side of the deal. Apparently when she became difficult, Graydon Carter decided she wasn't worth the trouble. Vanity Fair, to this day, still think they're not worth the trouble. Hence, of course, the expose at the very beginning of this year. But according to Meghan, what's gone wrong? We were friends. Why does everybody turn on me? Oh, I don't know. Do you? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.